I'm Caleb Chapman with the Jazz Education Network. I'm here with another installment of Beyond the Notes. Once again with my great friend Steve Bailey. He's chair of the bass department at Berklee College of Music. And Steve, we got a chance to talk a little bit last year. Thanks for making some time today.
You're welcome. I've always got time for you.
I appreciate that. Well, today, Steve, I just wanted to get your insights as somebody that's seeing the evolution of music over the last several decades and the integration of technology in that. Where do you see the role of technology specifically as it relates to jazz music, and both in your relationship to what you've seen here at the Jazz Education Network conference and also your interaction with the students at Berklee? What's the right balance of that with our music moving forward?
That's a great question because I feel strongly about this, and it's been a topic of many meetings as we in curricular planning, and I am of the firm conviction that, and I call these millennial musicians, anybody who's kind of come into the scene after the turn of the century and expects to really make a living, has to have a good grasp of technology. And by technology, I could be specific and talk about recording technology for all the reasons that recording has evolved, but really it's just technology in general, how to use these new inventions that are designed for communication, which they really all are. Even recording is just communicating whatever we're doing. But I really think that the millennial musician, ideally, and this would be like a test at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can you record yourself onto your laptop through an interface and deliver a product back to a producer? There's a revenue stream. I'm all about revenue streams. I like people to actually make money doing what they're doing. And technology is the biggest hole in the puzzle. It's the biggest piece missing as far as I'm concerned when I look around at colleges, and even my own, to where we ended up writing this last year a class called the Self-Producing Bassist. And it's funny, I'm on the stage with Marcus Miller a minute ago. Marcus, what'd you do this afternoon? He said, well, I had this track I was doing for a guy, and I was behind, so I got a lot of it done. And the talk immediately went to what kind of interface do you use. But if somebody at Marcus Miller's level is carrying around an interface in a hotel room and creating a revenue stream with it, I think that's a great model for anybody.
That's fantastic. I mean, I think that sometimes we shy away from things that are different, things that are changing, and certainly I think sometimes we feel like it might be a little taboo to approach technology when it comes to creating music, especially in the jazz arena. And I'm not specifically talking about like the recording per se, but using effects, using loops, using electronics, borrowing from EDM and some of these other art forms. Earlier today, I had the great pleasure of performing with Robin Eubanks, and he pulled out his laptop and played through some very cool effects, and accomplished some great musical ideas that took him beyond what was just able to make with a trombone by itself.
Right.
When does it become too much? How do you use that?
I don't think there is. Too much is like, how much ketchup do you like? Or how much salt do you like? I mean, salt could be a problem. Maybe ketchup's even a problem, but it is a vegetable group. So I heard years ago. I give away my age. I guess you could overuse it. Some people get so good at technology and they forget how to play their instrument. And I think that there has to be, or I shouldn't say they get so good that they forget it. They get good enough with technology that they realize, wait, I can piece this together. I can do this in a way that I don't really have to play it.
Maybe it becomes a crutch.
Well, maybe a crutch or just a tool to like makeup.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make myself look a little better, move these notes around, make everything sound and feel good, which is all fine. I mean, the end product is what we hear, but when you go out and you want to perform that stuff live, then there's the rub. I mean, on Victor's previous album before, he tricked me. No, he didn't. He inspired me to want to play the trombone again. And he said, if you play trombone, and I hadn't played one in 35 years, I pick it up, but I'm really good at technology. And and editing and recording. I've devoted a big part of my life to it. So man, I came at the end. I mean, it was some killer horn section stuff there, and I'd only been playing for 8 months again. But the trick was I had to learn that stuff to go on tour. So then I really had to start practicing. So in that way, technology just kicked me in the butt and got me moving. I don't know if I love to hear EDM influences into music, into jazz. Why not? I mean, it's this latest Christmas or holiday track that the Berklee Bass Department, we do one every year. This one had one of the most killer rappers, who's also a bass player, rapping over a Hanukkah and a Christmas song. And I love to mix elements. I mean, bebop is great, but even when I worked with Dizzy, he wanted to mix it up.
Right.
I mean, we never played Night in Tunisia like it was recorded.
Yeah.
He was always trying to find different ways, different grooves, 6/8 grooves, this funk, different grooves to play Night in Tunisia. So he's kind of the cutting edge of that.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that really the spirit of the music, to continue to push and push? I mean, Miles was the greatest example of that, of moving ahead. You know, the whole concept of, you know, the Electric Miles years, you know, I mean, that idea of pushing it.
I mean, yeah, he comes back the man with the horn, and after that, not with one electric guitar player, but two.
Right.
And really going in ways that probably pissed some people off. But in the end, it was Miles.
Right.
No matter what it was.
What would you say to, you know, a high school director that wants to start to bring some of these elements of technology into the classroom? Where does somebody start that really doesn't have any background with Ableton or a DAW or interfaces? Like, what are the resources that are available out there? Where would they begin?
Well, I really think that the students are so hip technologically that, at least the ones I've dealt with, younger ones, and some high school students, but definitely some just out of high school students, that if you push them in the right direction and show them the benefits of how this can work, I think they can learn it themselves quicker than we can. I mean, my daughter's 15, and she's constantly showing me stuff. I mean, it's not recording related, but it's technology related. Like, oh, Dad, why are you doing that in your Word doc? You know, Google Docs is the only way to go, and she's hipping me to stuff. And I really think a band director, even if they're not as versed, just to do a little research, find some links, steer the students that way, and I bet the students would come back and surprise.
I think you're absolutely right. I've had the same experience. My son Porter, you know, is 18 and put out a full album on iTunes that he recorded in our basement with an interface and you know, a laptop. Yeah, it's fantastic.
I mean, MacBook Pro. I mean, you've got more technology than got us to the moon.
That's right.
And it is so easy now that sometimes we jump ahead of the game, and people are making and recording themselves and presenting them and then sticking it out there where it's never going to go away. And is that really the first impression you want to make?
Mm-hmm.
So the cost prohibitiveness and the back in the day, you really had to earn that right.
The stage.
Yes, you had to earn the stage. You had to earn that recording contract. And today, I mean, I love everything about the technology that you can create an industry of your own with your own brand and record it, sell it, and do it all within your own kind of domain. But that floods the market with product. So you better be really unique or really amazing. And back in the day, you know, we would sit around and wait for a new jazz record to come out by a certain artist and maybe a new artist, but that was a big event. And that feeling of it being a big event has evaporated.
Right.
Because even with major artists.
When I don't think that's going to change. I think we've just moved on to a new stage.
And it's okay. I embrace it, but that doesn't mean I can't miss it.
Right.
You know, I miss you know, the excitement of getting a new album and reading the liner notes.
Dropping the needle.
Yeah, seeing who's there and wearing one out, you know, just trying to learn a Stanley Clarke solo off Light as a Feather over and over again. But it's a new world, and I see way more benefits now than liabilities.
Wonderful. Well, Steve, thanks so much for taking time
Thank you.
to
Yeah, it's
chat
always
today.
Fun to hang up here, and we're in the penthouse of some amazing place. And I know you can't tell, but man, this is like this huge party going on back over here, and it's just amazing. Thank you for
Jazz
inviting me.
party in Dallas,
yes,
of
jazz
course.
party in Dallas, Texas.
Thanks so much. Once again, this is Caleb Chapman with Beyond the Notes.